Hello everyone, my name is Lawang Chiring Bhutia and I'm a teacher of maths, physics and science secondary level, and today I would like to talk about a safe and responsible use of ICT tools in education, more specifically in the teaching of mathematics in my class. So I'm going to start by just talking about what ICT is and how we use ICT in the context of the current unit of work, which is in algebra, probability and statistics. I'm going to give you 5 very specific examples of how we plan to do that, and I'll also show you visually how it's done, and then I'll give you some stats on the current situation of ICT usage among younger students, and finally we'll focus on 3 main issues surrounding the use of ICT and how what role you as parents and carers will be playing in this sort of issue. So to begin with, ICT is short for Information and Communication Technology, as nearly all of you might already know. So these are all the digital devices and software and hardware that we use every day to access, process, and communicate information. And so just like with every walk of life, we also use ICT tools in math education. So here are some examples that I would like to share with you about how we intend to use these digital tools, especially in the delivery of these topics, algebraic techniques, probability, and data analysis. So first example that I want to show you is Google Classroom. So this is a very broad and comprehensive software that we use. It's what we call a learning management system because it has a lot of features, and it's a sort of a digital classroom environment in itself. So for this unit, we'll be using Google Class mainly, to share announcements and to share resources and files and documents and even videos and other multimedia. And more importantly, I'll be using this to assess the student performance as well as give them feedbacks and comments. If you want to know more, you can visit the website, which is classroom.google.com. Now I'm going to show you visually what the Google Classroom looks like, and along the way I'll give you sort of a walkthrough of how your students are going to use it this class. You create a class. It's also available on mobile. Like any other social media app like Facebook. It's only the students and the teachers. This is classwork. So there's different types of assignments that you can create. A lot of features. You can integrate Google Drive, or even add a video link from YouTube. Organize the assessment and the resources. The grading tool. Open any kind of document, add comments, and award grades, set grade limit. So, start your final So there we go. That was Google Classroom. And the next software that I want to share with you is GeoGebra. So it's obviously not as comprehensive as Google Classroom, but this is very specific to mathematics. So it's also a very powerful tool, but mainly in GeoGebra, what I want the students to use are these interactive tools and interactive simulations and digital widgets, and students can interact with that and then have a more immersive, more engaging learning experience. So this is an example of how this is applied to the current topic of data analysis. So this is a box and whisker plot. So the question is asking us to try to guess where the mean might be located. So I'll just show you give you a demonstration of how the students can interact, and then you can also check yourself. There you go, instant feedback, and it makes the process of learning very interesting and fun, and also of course very interactive. So the other one, the other software that we're going to be using a lot in this unit is Transom. Transom, it's again a collection of activities and games and problems, and that has been collected by the specific teacher, John Tranter, from as far back as 1997 to the present day. So imagine the amount of resources that you have on this website. So it's a very huge website. You can go and check out yourself. It's transom.org. And here I'm going to show you visually again what the website looks like. So this is the landing page, the home page of the website. You can see how many categories there are for activities, so different sections. And here's one specific activity in in the simplification of algebraic fractions. So the blue boxes that you can see on screen here, there students are able to, the user is able to input their own answer, and then finally when you scroll down there's a button that you can use to submit your answers and then check yourself, and it'll give you again instant feedback. So this is a multi-level activity, so you can just increase the difficulty level of the exercise, and you can test yourself more. And so there are a lot of these similar kind of activities in all different topics that we'll be using in this particular unit. The other one, this one is not a very big sort of software. It's just, as you can see, a simulated calculator interface that appears on screen like this. This one doesn't work here because it's a screenshot. However, I intend to use this, and I use this frequently in my class to familiarize students with the use of the physical calculator, and it really helps them get used to the different functions and buttons on the calculator, and makes their work very smooth and efficient. And the fifth one and the final one that I want to talk about is a more fun more of a fun activity, which is a math bingo. So the particular website that I normally like to use is called mathstarters.net, and here's an example of how the game of bingo is applied to binomial expansion. So as you can see, it's sort of a bingo card that students can make, picking answers from the screen like this, and then when we start the game, they will be able to see these individual questions that come up. So the students are supposed to solve this particular problem, and then check off and then circle the option on their bingo card if they get it right, and everything else is sort of like normal bingo, and whoever wins gets a prize in the end. So there I gave you some examples of how I'll be using it in this particular subject and in this particular unit. However, there are some interesting data that has been recently sort of published by the Australian Institute for Teaching and Leadership. So I'm just going to share them with you. just so you know what's actually happening in the schools. So even though we think that because children have been exposed to digital media and ICT tools from a very young age, they still lack the amount of in-depth understanding and the ability to perform basic functions like search and computing. And then also, in fact, a lot of them are actually passive content users rather than actively interacting and creating content. So it's a very misleading. It can be very misleading to think that students can just by themselves be aware of the different aspects of using ICT tools. The especially the safety, responsibility, and ethical side of it. And this is another important piece of evidence that suggests that digital literacy among Australian students in particular has in fact gone down in some categories. As you can see, for year 10 students, it was 61% in 2005, and in a matter of 17 years, it's actually gone down to 46%. So it's not a very good picture, even though you feel that the current generation is very digital savvy. So what do we need to do is we need to make sure that we're constantly thinking about how they're benefiting from these ICT tools. And here are 3 important points that I'd like to share, and these 3 points that you can use to bring changes in the way they interact with ICT. So the first one is safety and privacy. So as parents, guardians, you're obviously one of the key stakeholders in making sure that the students are not exposed to harmful content, and there are many cases of cyberbullying and online harassment. So we need to be very vigilant, just like the teachers and other staff members of the school. It's very important parents and committee members also sort of contribute towards this. Likewise, screen time is another very important factor. It's the way a lot of these applications are built. They incentivize you to spend a lot of time on the platform itself, and so it's very important, for parents and community members, just like it is for teachers and staff members in the school, to make sure that you remind students to log off and take breaks and just spend time off the screen, have some downtime, whenever possible, as much as possible, so they're not constantly just obsessed and fixated on their digital devices. And finally, there's on the ethical side, we need to also make sure that students are aware of academic integrity and honesty and why it's important. So parents and community members again have a role to play in this. They should be reminded that their work has to be original and authentic. This is especially quite a significant issue because of the kind of development that we have recently seen in the form of AI and ChatGPT and software applications of those kind. So we need to make sure that we have all these this sort of guardrails and support systems that students can use. And these are sort of some of the websites that you can go to, to understand more about, what I was talking about today. So thank you for listening, and have a good day.